Welcome to the Lane Shift, where things get freaky and geeky. Today's episode is brought to you by the Slashercast Podcast Network. Alright, guys. So, to those who don't know, it is September 30th, which means it's the last day of September. Do y'all remember the last day of September? Because it's today. Guys, I'm super excited because tomorrow it is October 1st, which means it's officially spooky season. So, you bet y'all's asses tonight at 12 a.m. I'm watching some horror movies just to get into that true season, while, of course, decorating at the same time of the Lane Shift Horror Cave. And guys, I gotta say, this is honestly gonna be really great this month. We have some really big things coming, and I cannot wait to share more info on that. However, that's later. So remember, if y'all want to keep up with this, don't forget the Lane Shift has a Twitter and Instagram. It's the Lane Shift. At the Lane Shift. So, and if also, of course, you just want to get freaking geeky with me on Twitter, that's cool. But anyways, guys, so I'm super excited because this is going to be my first patch notes run through. I'm going to run through some of the things that I can understand from patch notes to tell y'all what came to Predator Hunting Grounds. Basically, it's just some cool stuff, some new items and all that, etc. You know, just the basics, of course. But I thought I wanted to share this and do this because I feel like a lot of people... I feel like I want to talk more about this game, and I love following up with this game. It's one of my current favorite multiplayer games to play currently right now. I'm a big IllFonic fan. So, of course, and a Predator fan. So, it's like my perfect game. Guys, we've honestly been following this for a while now. So, again, as we jump back into the jungles to once talk again about Predator Hunting Grounds, this is going to be truly fun. There's a new map. It's a cave, and it's called Excavation. It's really, really fun. That I will say, I fucking loved it. And I was, like, sitting there waiting to play it. I kept playing the jungle one. I'm like, the one around the jungle's great, but this cave was just so cool. I loved it, honestly. It's definitely a lot different, because it's a multi-level cave system, and it was really, really fun. Like, I was not expecting to have such a blast with that one. But, that being said, so don't, when you're out there playing, you'll see that new map. And that being said, there's a new mode called Clash. Now this was awesome. Clash is the ultimate 4v4 PvP that puts you into a players in an all-out war. So basically, you have a certain amount of time to capture these points. And while you're capturing the points, you actually build up a Predator meter. And once the meter's full, it will randomly generate someone to be Predator on your team. That's right. You get a friendly Predator in this. And then, of course, the enemy team also gets a Predator. But, hey, this is really cool, guys, because on top of that, to verse another Predator was fun. Don't get me wrong, when you verse a fire team, it's already hard. But to verse another Predator, it was insane, but super fun. Like, I honestly want them now to make a mode to where if you're playing, to where they make a mode just for Predator versus Predators. Like, that would be so fun. Just to have like a 1v1, 2v2, whatever, and just to go at each other like that. Something, that would be so fucking great. Like, I would lose my mind. So, again, if you want to play something like that, where you need more strategy, play more versus Predators, I suggest Clash. It was really fun. And I'm honestly glad that they brought this to us. We definitely needed something like this for a while now. That being said, also what came with the new free part of the update, the Mercenary 87 weapon. To those who don't know, the Mercenary 87 weapon is the Dutch 87 weapon that comes with them once you buy Dutch 87, which is Arnold's first character in the Predator series itself. Dutch, of course. And what I also like what they did is they increased the loadouts from 6 to 12, so you can definitely make different setups, because sometimes you're going to need to do a whole new setup, because let's say if you're playing as Predator and you're going against a bunch of supports, you're probably going to need to play Berserker, because he has more health, so do they. Or let's say if you're playing as Fireteam, you're going against a Scout, you're going to need something fast and does a lot of damage. So I'm glad that they definitely are thinking, hey, why not increase these? Because I've used up all of my 6 slots. They also fixed where melee weapon icons were being stretched. So sometimes when you're sitting there using something on your icon wheel, it'd be like really, really stretched out, which did not look good. But hey, I'm glad they fixed that one. Something really, really cool they finally dropped in here was, so as Predator, use medkits to heal, right? Well, sometimes you run out of medkits because you just can take an ass beating in that game. So you can actually go hunt down boar in the jungle and eat it to fully heal, and it's really cool. However, hunting the boars sometimes can be really hard because they can be really far away. But they fixed it to where they're prioritized to spawn more close to Predator. So that's awesome. Another thing they also added, which was really cool, is an audio stinger for when connecting to a match. So sometimes when you're like matchmaking as Predator, it could take a while because they gotta go find you 4 Fireteam members and they gotta find someone who's not playing Predator. It takes a minute, But hey, once they figured it out, it was really cool because now when you're sitting there scrolling your phone and you're lost, you can actually hear a little audio go off, knowing that, hey, you've connected into this match. So that's kind of nice to know. It's like, oh, wow, so now I know I made it into this match instead of sitting there going, well, am I making it in yet? Another thing that I really liked is what they added is, to those who don't know, crossplay has been in this game for quite some time. It was announced a while back, and it recently came, sometimes it takes a while to get those kinks in, but hey, they got it in. You can invite friends on PC and PlayStation, of course, vice versa. But what's cool is, sometimes when you're playing Predator and you go to the load up screen, sometimes people will back out randomly. We don't know why, they just do. But let's say someone does that and y'all are all waiting for 2 people to come back in so that way y'all can have a full match. Let's say if you got 2 friends on as PC or whatever, you can now invite them on that screen to join in. So that way you don't have to back out as Predator, but you could just bring them in on that match. So I thought that was really cool. They definitely fixed a lot in here, and let me tell y'all something. When I was playing this game, a lot was improved. It was awesome. I really, really loved it a lot. They still definitely have some more things to fix, like the trees. They said they fixed the trees, but yesterday when I was playing, I felt like the trees definitely need another rework. That being said, of course, I was trying to jump into the trees as Predator, but it kept knocking me out and just kept saying, nope. I'm like, this says I can climb this tree, though. Well, like I said, stuff happens with games, and it's alright. Another thing that I'm glad they fixed is collecting heads after a long claim. To those who don't know what a long claim is, so when you're playing Predator, you have quick claim, which you just go over there, knock their head off, collect it. You pull out their spine through their skull and all that, etc. That being said, a long claim is, if you're playing as Fireteam, you'll see it more as a quick little cinematic where Predator throws you on the ground, you're laying on your back, and you get brutally murdered, and of course he takes your spine and skull. However, sometimes when you took their spine and skull, it really wouldn't show up and their head would still be intact, but now they fixed that. So, to those who are getting disappointed out of that, hey, your answers your prayers have been answered. So, that's awesome. Another thing I kind of liked is how they increased the amount of healed from medical kits that appeared. I'm glad that they finally increased those because, let me tell you something, sometimes when you're getting your ass hit as Predator or as Fireteam from the Predator, you can take kind of a beating. And, like I said, you're taking kind of like an ass beating, and you're like, oh, well, I'm all out of medkits. What am I supposed to do? Well, sometimes around the map, you can actually find medkits. So I'm glad that they definitely increased it, because sometimes you could be running around for hours and you're looking and you're like, damn, I just don't see any. Hopefully they'll also do this with the ammo bags as well, because sometimes you really just need some ammo too. This game will definitely eat up all your ammo. Let me tell you something. It is good to have a secondary in this game for sure. One thing I do not like what they did in the weapons. However, the 2XL, which is just a revolver, it's one of my go weapons, and they've reduced the damage to it, which kind of really sucks. However, for the QR4, they increased an extended magazine ammo capacity for that. And then for gear, the UAV scanner, they fixed it not being able to muddy up after using a UAV scanner. Oh shit. Could you imagine using one of those and then being out in the open? Fuck, that would suck. Here's something nice that they've been doing. Self-revive Surret, reduced cost, which to those who don't know, your perks cost you little points to use. So like, let's say you pick a character that has 12 points max, then you pick a perk that costs 4, another perk that costs 4, and then you get another perk that costs you, hold on, bad with math, thinking, oh, 4. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, all jokes aside, so what's really cool is for body armor, reduced cost, iron lungs, reduced cost, double time, reduced cost, flesh ripper, multitasker has been increased with movement speed, weapon training, increased recoil reduction. Hey, nice. Gonna have to equip that one now, because I used to use that one until I felt like, man, the recoil just doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like much. It didn't feel like a big difference. This is really cool. I use Gearhead. To those who use Gearhead, they reduced cost. They fixed an issue where quick release sped up to reload animation, but did not resupply the clip. Can't speak today, apparently. Here's something awesome. So, as Predator, you have a second wind, but you have to let that recharge, and if you don't, then you either have give up or self-destruct. Self-destruct is kind of like how I like to say, your final fuck you to the team. It's kind of like, all right, if I'm not going to win, then we're not going to win here. No one wins. So what's cool is that after killing them before, it wouldn't really count towards you and you wouldn't get the XP, which kind of sucked ass, because like, well, they died from my blast. Like, it was me who did it. You know, I had set the bomb and they failed to defuse it. It's like they had a chance to, but they failed. I deserve those kills. Now they finally count that. So next time you blow yourself up, don't get too sad, because now you'll actually get those fucking kills. Another thing they did that I'm glad is they finally fixed the cloak for Predator. So, of course, in here you can cloak as Predator, go invisible. Just don't stand in the water, else I'll show you. And that being said, they finally fixed it to where they reduced the visibility when viewed from longer distance, which I'm quite glad, because sometimes I'd be like 7 feet away from someone and then somehow they would literally see me all the way up in this high ass tree and they'll start shooting me up, and I'm like, dude, I'm so high I could literally climb into space right now. How the hell are you seeing me? So I'm glad they definitely fixed that. You know, this game's really coming a long way, guys, and honestly, it's making me so happy. Yeah, see, this is what they said. They said adjusted Predcore trees to improve branch connections and mounting from the ground. Branch connection's good, just the mounting's still having some trouble. I'm sure they'll fix it, though. Oh, they improved Predator's melee lock-in. Hell yeah. Weapons, Smart Disc. This is for Predator. Smart Disc tends now apply to controlled Smart Disc, not just the one you're holding. Increase base flight speed, increase boost flight. Wow, so the Smart Disc definitely got a buff this time. So to those who use the Smart Disc, I bet y'all are happy. The Smart Disc is really good. I like it. Reduced return speed. Oh, shit. So kind of got a buff and a nerf. War Club. Increased damage of second hit in the combo. So they increased damage in the second hit. Okay, so the War Club got a buff. That's nice. Um, they fixed an issue where armed bear traps would sometimes appear as disarmed. How do they do that? You can't even really tell. um, Classes. This is the one y'all have probably been looking for. So Samurai. This is a good class. I really like Samurai. He's a purchase predator, of course. Increased resistance to fire team melee attacks, increased melee damage, reduced stamina regen rate while melee attacking. Okay, increased stamina regen rate, increased stamina. Okay, so Samurai got a buff. Scout, increased energy, increased spread core speed, increased stamina rate while melee attacking. Scout definitely got that buff. Alpha Predator, reduced energy, reduced health, increased stamina, increased melee attack, increased perk points, increased speed. Okay, Alpha Predator definitely, yeah. I'm glad they did that, because let me tell you something. Sometimes taking down an Alpha Predator is no joke. It is ridiculous. Like, I would literally shoot the hell out of them, and it was nothing to them. And it's like, wow. Like, me and a whole group tried to kill one before, and they did have a lot of health. It was kind of ridiculous. Elder, increased perk points, increased pred core speed, increased energy, reduced stamina, increased health, reduced melee damage. So here's one, Berserker. This is the main class I like to use. The reason why is because of more health and more gear. Honestly, guys, when it comes down for me playing, I like to always have more health. Hey, that's just my preference. If you have a different one, good for you. I'm just not stealthy. I like to go in loud and proud. Reduce resistance to fire team melee attacks, about time. Reduce stamina rate while melee attacking. Increase stamina, increased melee damage, increased stamina regen rate. City Hunter, reduced perk points. City Hunter did not get anything. That happens though. Then of course you have your whole list of cosmetics. You have the hazard skin. You have another hazard skin. Basically, it's just a bunch of new skins. And if you definitely want to check them out, I suggest you get Predator Hunting Grounds if you don't own it. It's a super fun game. You can play with your friends and all that. Honestly, guys, this definitely seems like a big improvement for Predator Hunting Grounds. Even though they don't really drop a whole lot of patches for a little bit, sometimes they'll drop a patch within 2 weeks of each. Sometimes they'll drop a patch within months each. It just depends. However, this is really, really big improvements. I mean, I played yesterday, and honestly, guys, I gotta say, it's starting to feel really good to play Predator again. It was kind of getting annoying at one point, because I was starting to feel like Predator really did need a buff. But, honestly, guys, like I was saying, there's still so much more to come to this game. I'm honestly really looking forward for a single player. And I really want Ilphonics to do what they did with Friday the 13th, is single player challenges. I feel like this is the type of thing that needs to be started. It truly is a fun ideology. I definitely had a blast with it, with playing a course Friday the 13th that they developed on, but I honestly think they can bring it to Predator Hunting Grounds, and it could be really, really awesome, and I think they should try that, and like I said, on top of that, there should be more maps, as well to come, I'm sure, because, hell, look at what they're doing right now. I would honestly like to see probably some AVP maps, and of course, Predator 2, the city map would be awesome. Could you imagine that? Okay, that'd be so great, to have City Hunter back into the city. That would be really, really awesome. And like I said, I'm really 100% looking forward to the next update, of course, as always. Guys, honestly, like I said, this game's coming along just fine. I think it still needs a coursework. All games do, though. It's still really new and out there. And, of course, I'm going to keep always talking about this game, and I'm going to keep bringing it up and, of course, keeping up with it as much as possible. Like I said, if you have a PlayStation, you got $40, you like sci-fi and horror, Predator's your game. I can 100% guarantee you that one. It truly is a work of art, at least in my opinion, and the reason why I say this is because you don't really have a lot of games like these, Ilphonic just knows how to bring these kind of games to life. They did a great job again with Friday the 13th and etc. And now they're bringing it to, and now they brought it with Predator Hunting Grounds. And on top of that, they've done a lot with this game. I mean, hell, they got Arnold to voice in it, which is awesome as hell to have Arnold's face, likeness, and everything in here. And on top of that, to have him voice his little, the little chat bubbles you can use to communicate with your team. That is awesome. That is for real awesome. That means, they took their time. They wanted to make sure this game was perfect. Everything is going great with this game. Obviously, these guys are really passionate about it, and I think we should all be passionate with them because obviously they're doing a great job. And like I said, I look forward for so much for this game. I really do. I'm still mad that they nerfed the 2XL. Not gonna lie, that still annoyed me a little bit. Because I noticed that yesterday when I was shooting it, and I was like, I'm doing a run through the patch notes. And I went and I was like, damn, they did nerf it. If anyone from Ilphonics listening, yeah, change this real quick. No, I'm kidding. Like I said, it's still really good. They're still bringing so much, and I look forward to the next idea of a Predator they're going to bring. Honestly, now this is kind of a long shot, but it'd be kind of cool if they did like an AVP mode. They had some Xenomorphs in there. Could you imagine that? Playing as Fireteam Xenomorph and Predator? How awesome would that be? That'd be great. To sit there and play all that. Oh, that'd be a cool ass challenge. There's a single player challenge. They probably could never use this now, but oh well. Here's a good single player challenge. As Predator, you have to go sneak into the ship and destroy a bunch of Xenomorph eggs. That'd be cool. I would definitely like to see that for sure. But like I said, this game, it's fun. If you like playing with your friends, kicking some ass, feeling good about yourself while hating yourself at the same time, this is a game for you. Honestly though, it will make you feel truly achieving. Like, while you're sitting there fighting off a bunch of AIs, you're also sitting there fighting up enemy players. Predator, he has alien weapons. You just have your basic guns, and you're just trying your best. So once you beat the mission, get to the chopper, or take him down and defuse the bomb, and of course, get that jock, you son of a bitch, hand grip. That is so great to do. It really is, and I feel like it, I feel like this game rewards you like that. And the XP leveling is great. Like, you don't really sit there and feel like you're leveling up forever. So leveling up in this game is not too hard, but not too easy. So that's also really nice. And on top of that, if you want to unlock the sweet ass Predator mask and skins and all that, to get the currency, they give you these daily challenges that they last for a whole week, and it will give you a shit ton of the game's currency. And it helps to get that kind of stuff. So on top of that, you have missions as Fireteam, different ones. Of Predator, it's always going to be the same, but you can always play it different because not everyone plays the same way. And on top of that, you have challenges as Fireteam and Predator. It just depends. Then you also have, of course, your current objectives. You have now different maps, different stuff. Like I said, this game's coming a long way. And it's truly fun. I mean, each mission's different. Like, one mission is Fireteam. You might have to go and figure out who's contaminating the water supply. Or you have to go figure out where they're keeping drugs. Or you gotta go take out a warlord. Who knows? There's just so much you get to do in this game. And it's crazy. And like I said, there's so much more I'm sure that's gonna come to this game. It definitely seems like they're doing a lot with it. And I'm super hyped to see so much more with this. Like I said, this is definitely, truly a fun game. And I realized another thing I'd like to see come to Predator Hunting Grounds as well is more gear slots. Like, don't get me wrong, and perk slots. And not really gear slots. I feel like the gear slots are actually good. More perk slots. And the reason why I say this is because, it's really hard because you'll have somewhere it's increases overall health. Oh, but this will help you with long range. And it's if you have, if you're playing as Predator and you're like, oh, I really need that health. But then it's but I also need that long range for my bow. You're definitely really unties with those sometimes when you're picking your perks. It's like, man, I really want to use this one, but I can't. But I really want to, but I can't, So I definitely hope to see more of an increase in perk usage on there. Some more slots on that, because that would definitely be nice to have more perks. Gear slots, though, I feel like the gear slots are perfect. I feel like, honestly, each team really only needs about 3 gear slots, because, I mean, anything a little bit more than that it's a little over with, because, I mean, could you imagine a Predator being able to throw down bear traps, audio decoy, like motion detectors, so much? Like, could you imagine on top of that even more? Because, I mean, that's already enough. I mean, you already get dazed and confused by that shit. Could you imagine if you could be able to set more down? Yeah, no thanks. Another gear item I like to use that came with City Hunter is the arm missiles. The wrist missiles. Those are awesome as hell to use. They really do a good job. So if you're really looking to use something to help you and you purchase City Hunter, use those wrist missiles, because let me tell you something. There's sometimes where I've killed 3 fire team members and one of them was hiding, but I had hit them with one and I could see it glowing still on them, and I went over and just got them because they were trying to go and get them all on a revive. That's the other thing I like about Predator Hunting Grounds, is right there, how you can resurrect your whole team. That is great to have. So it's not like boom, 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 you're done. The 2 reasons why it's great is because after you've already killed them and you barely used any of your stuff as Predator, you get more points, so that's even awesome. Of course I would like that extra 4,000 XP. Why, thank you very much. And then there's sometimes where I get pissed because I'm like, oh my god, dude, I have no more health. Nothing. I gotta go in. I'm gonna die, but I gotta go in. I'm gonna die. It's truly is a fun game. Like I said, there are times like that, and there's times where I'm like, man, I'm just owning it tonight. And I was like, man, I'm getting owned tonight. I just get destroyed sometimes, and I get so mad. But that's a part of the game, You definitely gotta always work more. Here's a fun little tip, is how I'll say how to play Predator, is try not to be like me and again is loud and proud. Try to be more stealthy and definitely keep your distance, because here's what I learned. There's probably a reason why Predator has a lot of ranged weapons. It's probably because you really like that distance for a reason. My favorite loadout to use as Predator is the comb stick, which is just a giant spear that you have, and then to also use the bow and arrow. I love that thing. The one thing I think they need to fix is its semi-like recoil, because when you hold it, your controller kind of shake and you don't really have much of a good grip. I mean, it's kind of real though. If you had like a big burst of energy in your hand, I'm sure it would be kind of hard to control like that. But the longer you hold it, the more of an explosion you can do on enemies. I also like it is because picking up your arrows is great, because you can shoot a bunch of them, go back, pick them up once they leave, and then keep using them. Like, you have reusable arrows, unless they lag out, which I've had that happen before. It happens, But I really like that. Another one that I like to use sometimes is a smart disc, as we talked about. Now, that is a fun weapon. Here's what I will say. If you were the person who grew up when you were playing the Arkham series and you used the remote battering a lot and you were skilled with that, yeah, you can definitely then use that smart disc. Best way to honestly put it, y'all. I gotta say, this, like I said, this game is fun. I will always say this, as I recommend it. I will never change how I feel about this game. It's great. It's fun. It has Arnold in it. What more do you want? And Predator. What more do you want? No, I'm kidding. We all have our own preferences, but hey, again, if you're a sci-fi geek and you're into horror, this is your game. And if you want a PlayStation, I'm just saying. But guys, this was so fun to read the patch notes with y'all. I had such a blast with it. This was truly fun to do. I was really super nervous about doing this, but you know what? I think we're going to keep doing this with some games that I've definitely done a follow-up on. I'm going to try to keep keeping up with more game patch notes, of course, talk to y'all about it, how I feel about it, and I want to know y'all's opinions. So definitely tell me what y'all think. But like I said, guys, I really had a blast doing this, and it was so fun. And I can't wait to do more on not only just Predator Hunting Grounds, but so many more patch notes now. I'm definitely looking forward. And like I said, I definitely want to know what y'all think. So be sure to hit me up and tell me what y'all thought about it. That being said, like I said, guys, we're planning to do a lot in October. Some spooky stuff, I promise y'all. We may have one more game to review and talk about. That's if I decide to go through with it. Probably not. We're probably just going to go straight into spooky season because, hey, why not? It's October, am I right? That being said, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Also, guys, the Link Shift has a freaking geek shop. To those who don't know what a freaking geek shop is, it's on Design by Humans. That being said, be sure to go check it out. Rock some of my merch like I rock the mic, y'all. I mean, come on. Like, it's pretty nice. No, I'm kidding. It's always up to y'all. But just to let y'all know, any shirts that y'all buy and Designed by Humans, all profits go to help the show and nothing but the show. Swearsies. But, like I said, thank you for tuning in. And remember, the Late Shift is where things get freaky and geeky.